Big week for the Eagles with mandatory minicamp getting ready to kick off. A lot of answers on the way this week, and I think we already got the biggest one today. So we'll talk about that and a whole bunch more, but welcome in. This is A to Z Sports Philly. I'm RB. Do us a favor, hit the like button down below if you enjoy this content, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the updates. I want to start off, though, with some breaking news out of this morning. The Vikings and Justin Jefferson reach agreement on a 4-year contract extension, $140 million and $110 guaranteed, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, sources tell Adam Schefter. Shout out to JJ, bet on himself last year, went in without the contract, got it done. Boom, he's incredible. We know that, but why am I talking about this? Let's relate it back to the Eagles. And you know, it gives me another opportunity to highlight what we already know. Howie Roseman is the GOAT. Because look, man, shout out to Jake Rabbit Eye here on Twitter. The Eagles extended their stars as soon as possible, and it paid dividends. They handed out 2 extensions to Devontae and AJ. Remember how quick Howie got that done this offseason? It has been the offseason of the wide receiver. It's like Howie saw it in the distance, already projected it, knew it was coming, and he got it done with AJ and Devontae. Boom, right off the bat. Combined guaranteed money, $135 million for AJ and Devontae on their contracts. And for Justin Jefferson alone, $110 million. Howie Roseman does it again. We all know that it's about timing. It's about when you get paid, not who is getting paid. And Justin Jefferson just set the market. CeeDee Lamb still has not been paid. The Cowboys are an absolute joke at this point, but I love it. I'm here for it. And once again, here are some of the contracts handed out to wide receivers this offseason. You have Justin Jefferson, AJ, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley, and there are a whole bunch of others. So, hey, man, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Howie Roseman does it again. And helps the Eagles with some financial flexibility. But speaking of financial flexibility, the Eagles have a huge decision to make, and it's something we have talked about for numerous weeks now, and it's James Bradberry. Let me ask you, Eagle Nation, down below in the comment section. Again, if you had to give a final take today with mandatory minicamp coming tomorrow, because we know that will decide everything. If he is not there, he's not showing up. Do you want James Bradberry as the second corner on this team? Do you think he should have a chance to redeem himself and start this season, or would you go with one of the rookies that you drafted? Give me your thoughts down below, because I think we got some pure answers today. And before we get into that, let me give a shout out to our sponsor of today's show, BetMGM. Enjoy your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks today. Sign up, use bonus code ATOZPA, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. And if I was a betting man today, I would say it's all but over. James Bradberry is coming back. Hear me out. I want to start off with what ESP put on Twitter this morning. He says, big week for Bradberry. It's a post-June 1 cut. Trading Bradberry prior to June 1 would have cost the Eagles around $10 million in salary cap space, but now they can cut or trade him with almost no impact to the 2024 salary cap. But they do lose around $3 million cap space for 2025. Mandatory minicamp this week feels like a decision that could come before practice on Tuesday. But I want you to listen to this, because we got some quotes today. The Eagles media was talking with their positional coaches, and new Eagles defensive backs coach Christian Parker says that he has seen a lot of James Bradberry this offseason during OTAs. And he said, even the days Bradberry hasn't been in Philly, they do talk on Zoom. So he is building up, some of these conversations and relationships with the new coaches. Even though he has not been in there in person, he is still showing up via Zoom and talking to the coaches. So it seems like he is still plugged in some type of way. Also, I want to make another point that I saw somebody bring up a few days ago. You can designate guys for post 1 June cuts before June 1. Like, you can designate them and then wait and cut them after that. And the Eagles have not done that. So maybe we were kind of off the whole time, and they are going to bring Bradberry back. Maybe they view it, from having more depth, and maybe they don't think their rookies are ready, or maybe they just think he's better than what he showed last year and he can get back to his 2 years ago self. But it is a good point that if they were going to designate him as a cut, why not do it already? So I think tomorrow will be the final telltale, and it'll really give us confirmation whether he's going to be here or not. But I think another avenue that maybe this could go down, and maybe why he hasn't been designated yet, is due to a trade. And we saw 2 mock trades put out in the past week. This one from Bleacher Report, it says the Cardinals would receive James Bradberry and a 2025 4th-round pick in exchange for a 2025 5th-round pick. So they would swap 2025 later round picks, and essentially this would save the Eagles $1.2 million in cap space. So rather than putting more burden on them, this would actually help them out, and it would pretty much just be a dump. He'd also send him back to a coach that he's a little more familiar with. So let me know what you think about that. And then another one that came out from Bleacher Report said that the Indianapolis Colts could also be a trade suitor for James Bradberry. Quote, adding the soon-to-be 31-year-old would give the Colts another starting option at corner and a good mentor for their young position group at the least. So, yeah, I do think if he's traded, it could be to a, team that has younger players, where maybe he could mentor, maybe, start out the season, and then, if it doesn't go well, he gets overtaken by some of the rookies or younger guys. So, look, maybe the Eagles end up trading him, and that's why they have not cut him. Maybe Howie's, calling around, seeing what he can get in exchange for James Bradberry, and maybe he will wait. Maybe he'll wait closer to the season when teams get desperate and they want to go out and get a player. Because again, 2 years ago, James Bradberry was helping this team get to the Super Bowl, and last year it all went south. So I think Howie's going to hold on as long as he can, and he's going to try to get as much value as possible. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But lastly, like I said earlier, the media got to talk to some of the new positional coaches today, and a couple cool tidbits from their practice. New Eagles inside linebacker coach Bobby King says that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is already showing high IQ. He says Trotter does not make the same mistake twice. So he's already leaving an impression on some of his new coaches. Good to hear. Maybe he can be a diamond in the rough. And obviously the fans were, hyped about him and excited. He has a lot of work to do on his physique, but maybe Jeremiah Trotter Jr. can step up and play some valuable snaps this season. Also, Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier says that the one thing that has stood out about working with Jalen Hurts so far is that Hurts, quotes, wants to have all the answers to each play. So when his system has put him in position to succeed, that is exactly what he's done. So it's good to have new life in here. And I do like that mentality of wanting to have the answers and wanting to learn and wanting to grow and, just always wanting to be at the top of your game. So shout out to Jalen Hurts. And lastly, Eagles defensive line coach Clint Hurt says he spent a lot of time with Jalen Carter in the pre-draft process in Seattle. He says that he likes Carter a lot coming out of Georgia and can already see how much he has matured in 1 year in the NFL. It is going to, again, I really think come down to Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Can those guys develop and become your D tackles of the future of the next decade? Can they be the guys? I really think they can. I'm excited from what I saw with Davis the other day about how he's getting in shape, even with guys like Nolan Smith. All the Georgia Bulldogs need to have a big year, and I think they will. So I'm really excited to see what happens. But Eagle Nation, give me your thoughts down below. What are you looking for in mandatory minicamp this week? We'll be back tomorrow with day 1 of coverage. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.